All right, we're ready to go, John.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, all Township Council meetings will be audio and video taped. They'll be shown on the Township of Ocean's Community Cable Channel, Channel 22 on Verizon Fios, and Channel 77 on Cablevision. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Napolitani?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Fisher?
Here.
Councilmember Achara?
Here.
Weinstein?
Here.
The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press and the coaster posted in Town Hall Municipal Clerk on January 3rd, 2025. We are going to start off with a presentation. I believe Colleen Mayer is here from our planning department to discuss the possibility of merging our planning and zoning boards into a joint board. So, Colleen, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, so what I wanted to do, it has to go out for referendum if the mayor and council so do agree. The boards are very lopsided. We've had to cancel a lot of planning board meetings because of no business, and sometimes we've just had them just because we had a resolution, and meetings are less than 5 minutes. Just in 2023, the Board of Adjustment had 62 applications, 24, 67. Planning Board in 2023 had 10, and last year had 14.
I'm sorry, can you go back and say those again?
The Board of Adjustment in 2023 had 62 applications, 2024 they had 67. Whereas the Planning Board in 2023 had 10, and in 2024 had 14. And 2 meetings were canceled with the Planning Board, and 3 we only held because we had a resolution to do.
Do you attribute any of that to Jeff leaving?
Yeah, it's all because he left. We miss him. The Board of Adjustment is just it's a very lopsided, the boards. And the Board of Adjustment, when I came on a little over a year ago, it was just, each month it was 6 to 9 being carried. Nobody, is just getting, if we did a unified board.
Wait, why were they carried? Finish that thought.
Because you couldn't get through them. When you have, so there's, 9, 10 on the agenda.
Got it. Okay.
But, and it shouldn't be taking somebody 4 or 5 months to get through on a variance. That's a little long.
But how does combining the two solve that problem?
Because you still have 2 meetings a month.
Oh,
so
so
instead
that's
of
what you're
just
doing?
having the
Oh,
Board
I
of
see.
Adjustment, you're the planning board, and
Oh, I see.
we're going to say we flip-flop, but you're called the planning board. So you can hear. So instead of people waiting 3, 4 months, I think customer service-wise, quicker. You get through it quicker.
But then you have the people, so then you'd have one board, but you'd meet twice a month.
Correct.
So then how do the people who are on the board feel, or it doesn't matter as long as you have enough of a quorum? Do you have enough people on the boards?
Well, I think the mayor and I have had a discussion about it, and I feel that, as what I've gathered from him, that he feels that he does,
Have enough people?
but enough people. Mm-hmm.
Well, when you say have enough people, meaning what?
So you have with a planning board, a combined board, you have 9 members and up to 4 alternates.
And what do we have today on each?
Let's see, you have 2 alternates on the Board of Adjustment.
And Colleen,
Yes.
just so everybody's aware, this was brought up, I believe, once before
It was.
in the past.
Yep.
I really have no opinion on this at all, other than Colleen coming to me a few months ago, making the recommendation, along with, I don't think Dave has an opinion either, so I wanted Colleen to come in, explain the pros and cons of a joint board, and then we would decide as a governing body to see whether or not this is something that we want to do.
And it would be up to the public because it would go out to a referendum.
So back to the thanks, John. Back to the numbers. So 9, I'm sorry.
So
Nine
a combined board would be 9
nine and
members
4.
and up to 4 alternates.
Okay, and now currently on the planning, it's
I think we have
You probably have 9.
9 members, and I think we have 2 alternates right now.
You have, I think, openings for 4 alternates, but you might have only appointed 2. And then on the zoning board, you have 7 regular plus, I don't know if there's 2 or 4 alternates. You can have either one.
Yeah,
and
we
that's
have
by
2.
statute.
Correct.
So-
The alternates are up to the discretion of the governing board, but 9 on the planning board, 7 regular on the zoning board is by statute.
So in theory, we'd end up losing. Hi, Gita. How are you? How was traffic?
Summer traffic has
Yes,
started.
That was started last week, yes, sir, ma'am.
Sorry.
So would that mean, my math is right, Jesse, keep me honest? You didn't get that, 7 people would no longer have a position.
Correct.
How do you pick?
But there's also, if you took the planning board, there's a lot of people who don't show, right?
Board of Adjustment is more of no-shows.
Oh, more than
Really?
no show.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you probably have 5 or 7 people who automatically,
Or yeah, are
automatically
continually
tap out.
absent a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the planning board, I think I had like 4 people
Yeah.
who,
Never
Just-
came.
Wow.
yeah, they were kinda, yeah, so you probably tap out.
Members or alternates?
Both,
I think it
yeah,
was both.
Yeah.
both, yeah, it was, whatever the pool was, sometimes we barely had 5, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was,
And it's difficult. There's times, we send out the emails, we gotta know for quorum
I gotta
purposes.
tell you, we never had a problem when I was on the planning board. We always had quorum.
yeah, we always, yeah.
In the old days.
What's the reason
Well,
behind?
you too, right?
To do a unified
Towards the
board.
end, we had a couple.
But I was
What's the benefit to a unified board?
Well,
Sorry, I
it's-
missed the first.
That's okay, is the Board of Adjustment, they're very lopsided boards, and as you know, being on the planning board, we've canceled a lot, or we've
Yeah.
just had a meeting just because we had a resolution.
Right.
So, in 2014, the planning board only had, 2024, had 14, 2023 they had 10.
Wow.
So, where you have, and the Board of Adjustment, it takes a long time, only not because of paperwork here processing, but because of getting on an agenda. I can put you on an agenda, but we have 15 on an agenda, we're not gonna get through 15 in a night.
Yeah,
And
it's
then it
really
just
one,
carries.
it's one
So
meeting,
it's just a
one meeting a month.
snowball effect, so then,
Right.
you're carrying 6 or 7. We're not stacking them. When I came in, the agendas were just out of control, just putting them on. As soon as they're ready, putting them on, and, no sense. But, I just feel for somebody to take 4 months to go through to get a variance from a board here.
So this would speed it up, you think?
It would, because you're still meeting twice a month,
Yeah.
and instead of, so now you can hear them twice a month. Instead
Oh,
of
as
the
opposed to
because
once a month.
because you can only
Okay.
hear
Got it.
planning board, now if you're a combined
Oh.
board, and I'm gonna use the
Okay.
term flip-flop.
The zoning board
Right.
just meets once a month now?
Zoning
Yeah.
board meets once a month. We've done a couple of, a special meeting when I came on to clear up the
Mhm.
agenda, which the town paid for, So I do try to push the bigger applications to pay for their own special meeting,
So what happens if we get one of those complicated cases, like where all of a sudden somebody wants to do something big time?
Right.
And where we've almost gotta have a special meeting and it becomes very cumbersome. What do we do about that?
Well, I feel with the combined board, with a unified board, you wouldn't have to do a special meeting. This is coming on. You could stack the first meeting or the second meeting and have that meeting light to hear that application and give them the night. Right now, on the Board of Adjustment, they're getting 45 minutes to present their application.
I think
It's
the practical challenge is that if you have, it's 9 and 4, is that what we would have? Nine people? So the practical challenge would be that if you started having a meeting every other week, right? And you felt like you needed to make sure that there was a core group of people that were always there. The challenge is that you'd have to find out how those people signed up for that.
Mhm.
Like if they really wanted to be here. So whoever the chairman was, whoever the vice chairman was, they would have to feel like that this is something that they're
Committed
okay
to.
with.
Or
okay
not.
with, yeah.
Well,
Right.
Or
Or
get
not.
off the board, and then we have A space, or B, we'll appoint somebody else.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a tough thing because if what Colleen's saying is, so like when we do the planning board, if we had something there, it might go to 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock or something. But you're basically saying these meetings go till like 10 o'clock.
Every single one.
Every
I've been on both,
Right.
and the
So now
zoning board
so now you have
is
volunteers
excruciating.
who are going twice a
Twice a month to 10 o'clock.
till 10 o'clock.
Going the
Right.
distance every time.
But-
so-
Right.
With a unified board, you wouldn't have to go that late. You wouldn't be so,
Oh.
whereas the Board of Adjustment, you're only
Why?
hearing it once a month. Well, because you're only hearing, it's once a month.
So you could take
So the
less
planning board's once a
cases.
month, so that's, the
But the-
Board of Adjustment's once a month, but if it's a unified board, you're meeting twice a month as a combined board.
So the agenda's gonna be shorter?
Agendas would be shorter.
why? What am I missing? Why would the agenda, why
Well-
would the number of applications be any less?
So, so what you're having is right now, the Board of Adjustment has, we'll say 8 on the agenda, where the planning board has nothing. but now you're hearing 8 in one night instead of hearing possibly 8, 12 in 2 nights.
I would have
So, Colleen, just so I can just chime in for a minute, I think what Colleen's saying is our planning board has really not a lot going on. Obviously, we don't have any of those big applications, Dave, like you were just asking. So right now, because that board, and it doesn't seem like that board's going to ever really get truly heavy because, you know, most of the town is built out at this point. I think the reason why Colleen brought it up is basically to look at a streamlined process and look for cost savings in getting our residents through the hopper quicker than we're currently doing right now. So I think that we're trying to get a service that we provide, obviously, that has to be done through the town, through the planning department. And if it gets our residents their applications done quicker, and it's more of a streamlined process, and it ultimately saves the municipality some money. You know, I have to say I'm probably for it, but I want to hear what everybody else says. Remember, again, it is a referendum that the residents get to vote on. We don't get to dictate how this goes.
Oh,
When would the vote be?
November.
Oh,
When do you have to have it?
Colleen, is it seasonal? Do you find, like, you know, if you had to chart it out, there are certain months that are just jammed, chock full, and then there's months that are not? Or is it more of a steady?
It's pretty much of a steady. I'd say you probably have a few more during the cooler months, believe it or not, than the summer months. I think the summer months, there's just the construction going on, or where people don't want to do the construction while they're enjoying the summer.
The other question I had is, I know like in the court system, when they get jammed up, they'll do like a blitz. And is there ever a thought to like take one of these meetings and maybe put some of the cases that are not as complicated or don't seem as complicated and like stack them all in one night? Try to
We've
clear
done
them?
that. We've done that in the past.
Yeah.
We've done that to try to clean up the agendas to get it moving along.
Yeah.
So without naming names, do you think you'd have 9 committed members
I think I would,
Oh,
yeah.
between the two, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'd have.
to do it
Yeah.
twice
I think you'd have
a
at least,
month?
I think you'd probably have at least 7 every week that would, they would respond to emails and.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a problem at the board where people weren't even responding.
Right.
To,
Right.
if they were coming or not.
Yeah.
They've gotten a lot better.
Yeah,
They've gotten a lot better.
yeah, so I think, based on everybody I know, I think you would have.
I think, yeah,
Yeah, you'd have a solid
Yeah.
7 that would
I
always
think
show
you'd have
up.
to ask these people too, like, hey, is this something you're
Right,
willing to
you're
commit to?
interested in-
Because we
Am
just
I
doubled your
committing to
workload,
every
doubled
week?
your time constraint. You're gonna be sitting in meetings potentially from 7 to.
Well, the
Every
only thing
other
you could
week, but
work
yeah,
out,
then here
I mean,
we
just
go.
to,
Yeah.
just to kind of be fair, right, if you had a chairman and you had a good vice chairman,
good point.
those two could kind of figure out who's gonna go one week, who's gonna go the other week, right? If you had a pool of 13, you could they could talk to themselves, and I think these guys know each other pretty well to do that kind of thing. Right, who's the chair of the, it's Ed, and who's the chair of the,
Board of Adjustment is Schwan DeVille.
Shawan DeVille, okay. And the vice chairman of both are,
Mr. Fuller is the Board of Adjustment, and Michael Palutis is.
oh, yeah, so you have people who would switch around and stuff. You probably have to figure out who's gonna be the chair, which, that might be a.
Would, right, sure. But as you asked that, I was thinking.
Well,
that
fortunately,
too.
you don't have to figure that.
Yeah.
They do.
No, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just, I feel it would, I mean,
Yeah, you-
to take 4 months to get a resolution or approval on it's long, 4 or 5 months. That's in my eyes,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
really
It's
unnecessary.
not fair to
And then you're
residents.
looking at going through the building department process on top of it, and it shouldn't take you 6 months to go get permits to do work on your home.
So I agree with everything you're saying. The only thing I have that concern is that 32 acres project that comes up that we don't know about, the next one. And there will be a next one. Maybe this town is mostly built out, but there's always somebody who wants to do
So
something.
most of the bigger applications, I've talked to the attorneys and they've done special meetings.
Yeah, can't we
Yeah.
just force them to do a special meeting?
Yeah, now you're at 3 meetings, 4
Right,
meetings.
right, it's
you
a
know.
big commitment from
Yeah.
people. But I don't think there's a shortage, maybe I'm naive, but a shortage of people who wanna be on this board. I think it's
Well,
just
they're not
once they're.
showing up.
They're not showing up,
Well, it's the same.
but
It
I
looks
don't
good
think
on
it's
a
the same
resume.
thing. Right.
I think, John, I think there's been some of the people who haven't showed up who are no longer on, and so we kind of did some things with that, so.
And
Okay.
also, this is not the only town that's ever talked about this. Other towns do
Most
this.
towns do it.
Yeah, so this is not
Yeah.
foreign.
Is that the case?
to-
Kevin? Is it more
I
combined?
don't know about us most. It's usually either the smaller towns that don't have a lot of applications, or the towns that are more built out that don't have a lot of applications, that go to a joint, it's usually a question of efficiency. We have 2 boards that we only need 1. I mean, this is a little bit different because you're trying to make it more efficient because you have more applications on one side than on the other. But I'll tell you my view, I think it's a good idea, but it sounds like your efficiencies are not so much coming from joining the boards, it sounds like it's coming from
More
doubling the meetings.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
Yeah.
Right, that's the alternative. We could just have
Well,
the board
that's a good
of
point.
adjustment just
Why
have
not
the meeting.
just,
That's-
they're gonna
it's
have,
not cost
what,
saving.
now it's 3, oh,
No,
you
go
see where
ahead.
I'm going?
Yeah,
Is that an option?
But if one board's doing nothing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It's a
it's
waste
like
of time.
really, they
Yeah.
canceled the last
well, that's,
planning
yeah,
board meeting.
yeah, and then we've had, I think, 2 or 3 that just because we
There
had a
was
resolution.
nothing on them. It's
There
like
was
everyone show up, so you could
Yeah.
say here, and then
And
you
the
could go home.
resolution
Yeah,
and go home.
I think at one point, the planning board stuff had a different, the applications were a little bit different.
Right.
And so you kind of were a little bit, I don't want to say more involved, but had more moving parts to it, maybe? Is that a fair sense when we had some of the applications for the planning board?
I guess,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's been a while since the planning board has had
Yeah,
that many.
but, I wouldn't think the complexity is, I think it's probably the same.
As of, right now, for 2025, we've had 1 planning board application.
crazy.
So,
Wow.
Just
Yeah.
1,
I
What
think,
wa- what was it?
Off the top of my
I
head,
don't mean
I
to
don't.
put you, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
think to sort of your point, complexity.
I think it's probably a good idea.
I mean, it just would speed up the process, I guess it's, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, if there's, being on the planning board, there was nothing worse than I've seen, there's nothing on the agenda, I'm coming all the way in to vote for 20 seconds to get in my car to go home. It just didn't make sense.
Well, you were one of the guys who didn't show up.
Correct. Correct.
And then I had to
Because we know Dave doesn't like a lot of meetings.
I'm
And
about
driving.
streamlining.
And
Streamlining.
driving.
I think the real benefit.
But Jeff makes a good point. I think that the boards or the board, if it is decided by the residents that this is a referendum that they would pass, my assumption is that it's pretty easy for them to decide who's going to show up, who's not going to show up. I think that makes sense too. And again, worrying about who's going to show up, who's not going to show up, who can do it, who doesn't want to do it. I think we vet the members first before we actually pick them and find out, are you willing to do this twice a month?
Did you
So
discuss,
that's going to really fall on us as well.
did you discuss this with anybody?
No,
No?
no,
Okay.
not until,
Okay, let me text that.
until the,
Are we on?
Now everybody knows.
yeah, well, not until the mayor and council just,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
just gonna go start asking questions if everyone's not on board with it and doesn't like the idea and just
I think it's a
wants
good
it.
idea.
I think it
I
sounds,
think it's fair, it's a fair thing to do to residents, right? For the
It
residents.
is, yeah, I mean, when I came in, 4 or 5 months to get a resolution, I'm
It's too long.
What do
That's
other
true.
towns do? Like, we're not so much larger than everybody else. How come it's taking us 4 or 5 months? Like, what is a town of?
Some towns do double up, just tell the zoning board, you gotta have 2 meetings a month.
yeah,
And it
that
can get
creates
difficult. I mean, there's a lot of towns that stresses out the volunteers,
Right.
if it's at that level.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking the benefit you get from joining is you get, instead of having 7 on the zoning board, you'll have 9 regular on a joint board.
Right.
And alternates.
And 4 alternates.
All alternates. So
Right.
13 people is a lot to figure out how to get 5 people to a meeting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
13 and how, what's the total now?
I'm gonna say 7, 8,
Probably
9
9.
on the Board of Adjustment and 11 on the,
Okay, so
And-
we're shaving it down, but again,
But,
like
but
you
again,
said,
there's
people
7,
don't
there's
come.
a lot of people who
Yeah.
don't come. They don't respond even, right?
right, and then it's difficult to try to add a meeting, you say you're busy to try to add, so you gotta call everybody, get everybody's schedule, and not everybody's schedule is just, sometimes it's, well, I don't know until it gets closer, what my work schedule is, or what.
Are there
Yeah,
people?
plus Gita, you're the liaison, so you could be there for all these meetings.
Every single one.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I just told Colleen every week I'm going to have a meeting. Are there people whose terms end in July? What do you
Well, I
Just
think
by
we had,
attrition?
we purposely did that, we made them not, we staggered them on
Right.
purpose,
Yeah,
so.
so
Oh,
it's,
you're required to,
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
law,
Yeah.
yeah.
We
But I'm
cleaned all
saying-
that mess up.
But if it was
Okay.
approved, all the seats would be wiped out if there's a
Oh,
joint board.
okay,
a
and
joint-
then
a new board would be established, then you'd appoint from scratch.
Seems like a good
That's
idea to
what's
me.
easier.
Seems like a good idea to me.
What other I'm jury's out for me. I get the reason.
Oh, sure.
Don't, I get it.
yeah.
Staggered,
What
right.
else have we tried?
1 year, 2 year, 3
Or
year.
what else
right.
could we try to
If it's
speed it up?
Odd year,
I don't know I'm asking because I really don't know.
Let's figure it out, yeah.
interesting.
I mean, it's, the volume is just there. The volume on the Board of Adjustment is just there.
Lot of building.
Yeah,
Is there anything, now that you asked it that way, and this may be a Kevin question, is there anything we could do with our ordinances to lessen the number of applications?
Well,
I don't know if that's maybe a statute thing,
I
maybe
had put in
more-
for the budget to have the ordinance redone from top to bottom. I don't know if that got approved or not,
We'll find out.
but we'll find out. But yeah, the ordinance needs to be revamped a lot. Some of it is just, makes people come and it's like, really? So it needs to be revamped, the whole thing with everybody.
And that could take some time.
I don't think it's going to eliminate that much, of the volume.
But you're on the right track. What you wanna find is, what are the applications that are coming in that are common and that are simple and maybe can
Right.
change by ordinance, like if a fence, people come in for a 6-foot high fence and your ordinance says it has to be 5 feet, maybe you'd be like, let's make it 6, and then they'll make it,
Right.
Yeah.
eliminate those. But you should have your, engineer weigh in, because sometimes there are concerns you wanna be aware of, but
Sure.
other towns do that, try to eliminate the need for variances, yeah.
I mean, there are some that we can.
Some you can,
do.
some you
We've been
can't,
keeping
yeah.
track of it, and some we're gonna be sitting, if it's approved, to redo it in the budget. We're gonna be having meetings and with everybody, to zoning officer, the engineer, code. A lot of things are just so,
Okay, I'm all for that.
What, so what are the next formal steps?
You'd have to approve a question to go on the ballot for November, and you do that, I'm gonna say by mid-August,
Yeah,
is it,
August 22nd.
August 22nd?
Resolution or?
I'm not sure if it's a resolution or ordinance, do you know?
Vacancy.
Don't know.
I think it's a resolution.
I think it's a resolution
And
too,
we'll
but
do a
I'm not
non-binding,
positive.
wait, a non-binding.
No, I think it's binding, I think if it goes on, you have to
Okay.
change it. It's not, doesn't come back to you for another decision, it's just, it's
Okay.
approved, it happens, if it's not approved, it doesn't.
Okay.
Do we need to socialize this with any of the current board members on the different boards, to kind of just tell them what we're thinking about, just to see what they,
I could, yeah.
just to kind of, make sure we're not ending up in
Yeah.
November
I
without
know some
anybody on any boards?
I know one member that wasn't in for it, but.
Oh,
Why? You don't have to say who, but
I don't
why?
know why. I
Just
really
be
don't.
Time constraint.
Which
know.
board?
Planning board.
Okay.
See, now I wasn't trying to narrow it down that much. I was just looking for the general
I
reason.
mean, at least the last time I had a conversation with him, it was not
So it's
for,
a
he
him.
was, yeah, it's a
Okay,
him.
here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Him.
And the first letter is?
Well, you'll have people opposing, and they can,
Of course.
they can vote,
Yeah.
if you
Right,
put it
right,
on.
right, yeah.
I mean, I'm just looking more of the customer service aspect of
Sure.
it. And it takes a long time, and it shouldn't, it really shouldn't. You
Yeah, I
know.
guess my only thought is, if we do move forward, just make sure you get the best team there, the most qualified people who are committed,
Yeah.
because it's a big commitment.
It is a big commitment.
That's all,
It is.
it doesn't have to be as big a commitment, meaning that if you put a schedule together, I mean, if you were doing this, right, so so when we're doing the planning board, we just assumed people were gonna come to the planning board meetings, right? If you're on the planning board. You could do it if you have multiple board, if you have this pool of people, you could say, okay, this is your week, this is your week, this is your week, somebody could put a schedule in place.
Yeah, but
and
if the
say-
application gets continued and you only have that
Right,
person
they have to
listening
listen
to
to
that
the thing.
testimony, then they can't vote.
How
unless-
often do those continue?
Not too much, we're
Not
moving
too
them
much,
along,
yeah.
whereas before it was, you got 45 minutes and they'd cut you off and you had to come back, and I'm trying to push it, let's let them go a little longer, especially when they only have another 15, 20 minutes to
Right.
go, let them finish, and then sometimes you have to stay a little longer, and sometimes we can get through them
Is
quicker.
that a house rule or an ordinance for the 45 minutes?
It's kind of like a
I thought it was a half
rule.
hour.
Yeah, it's 45.
Some of those
But
cases
whereas the
go
planning
on
board, we
and
don't
on.
have
Right,
many
yeah.
on, so
Right.
they usually get their full time.
Right.
But in the Board of Adjustment, it's like, okay, your 45 minutes is up, you have
Right.
to come
see you
back next
later.
month. And that's a little frustrating too,
Right.
especially to residents who wanna
Sure.
come and hear it. It's
Yeah,
like now they have to come
attorney,
again and
whatever.
they're not, they're,
Architect.
Yeah.
have something going on in their life and they can't make it.
Carrying the case is never good.
No, no.
And not to beat a dead horse, but carrying it and not having the people available because of that concept, that would even be worse.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we'd have to work through it.
Yeah. I mean, and I've spoken to both board attorneys and they're in agreement that that's the way to go too, is a unified
Wow,
board.
so we'd lose an attorney.
Yeah.
Attorney and engineer, planner, yeah,
Yeah, it would cut costs.
whoever serves on the two boards.
Interesting.
I don't, would you
Didn't
cut?
think
I
of
don't-
that.
Well, the other thing is our
Do you cut
our
costs?
planner
Because
for
they
the
do it
They have to
twice a
come
week.
twice,
You
is
have to
that
come
right?
twice. I don't
same as
think-
our engineer.
Maybe there's like economies of scale.
I don't think you're cutting costs.
Can we
Well,
get
now, if
like
you
a
lose
2-for-1
you
deal?
lose the job for that board.
You don't lose,
I mean, if they serve on both boards, they'd keep one board presumably, but,
Yeah.
but you
Same.
still would double up on the
But right now we
Planner
have two
for
different
both.
attorneys.
good point,
You
yeah.
Two attorneys, but
You
the
have two
planner,
attorneys.
And the
But the
planner and the
planner's the
engineer are
same.
the same right
And
now.
the engineer's
both.
the same.
Yeah, but you still have to spend the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll give us a discount.
So I would suggest you guys think about it. We'll all think about it, and then Colleen, if we all decide we're in agreement that we want to do the resolution, I would say we put it on probably for next month if we're in agreement.
Okay.
In terms of the referendum, would residents understand what we're trying to do? It has to be phrased in the right way. 2 boards, 1 board, like what to
Right,
them,
it
what's
would
the
have,
difference?
it would have to, well, yeah, it would have to be,
Yeah, maybe a little
Explain.
PR campaign, because Lord knows nobody even knows what this is until they have to go in front of the
Yeah.
board,
Right.
you know.
and I
Well,
would
they
think
see
that
it on
anybody who's
Yeah.
gone before the board would realize the same
Understand.
thing.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
realize it.
let me ask you a legal question. When I was on the Board of Ed, and we had a referendum, we were not able to promote it.
Well, I don't, that's, you mean for the budget? Right, is that-
We had a referendum for construction, so we could say go vote, but we couldn't say go vote for it.
No, but you could educate people on what it is.
Yeah,
Right,
I
right.
would suggest that you might not wanna promote it, say, I'm for this, whether you can or cannot have to look into, but you can certainly say to people, this is what this will do if you approve it. But I'll check into whether you can take a hard line position on one side or the other. I think you can, but I'm not, let me get back to that.
Can the town promote it? Can it,
Oh, yeah.
just put it out there and say, hey, this is what's going on?
There's a question on the ballot.
You
should
make
go out
your own
and vote.
decision, this is the
This is
question.
what it means.
Right, we
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I know we could do.
Absolutely.
But to the
Yeah.
point of whether we
Yeah.
can say
I'll
vote
check into
which way.
Yeah, because I just don't think most people would even know what this is. you
Right.
know?
And honestly, sorry,
Sorry.
I don't know that most people are even gonna care.
See a question,
Right,
yes or no?
or not see it,
Right,
or not vote.
right.
I would think most people would think that if we're promoting a consolidation of boards, they would probably say yes.
I
Right.
think they'd say, "Whoa, this is a cost-saving measure. It's probably going to make my time longer."
Oh, is that what you think? But then we're gonna say that you're gonna be on both boards and you're fast.
Not very quick.
For us, people love that.
Yeah, I think most people were
I think
eliminating a
we need
board.
to- That's what I'm
That's
saying.
the
I think we
optics.
need to
Yeah.
explain it.
Yeah.
Good one.
All right,
We'll figure it out.
very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Haven't had to think this much in a while.
I'm sorry.
This is steam coming out.
All right, thank you. Have
Thanks,
a good
Colleen.
night.
Have a
Have
great
a good night.
Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Now what?
So,
We don't have Dave, we don't have Greg, so I'll go around the horn. We'll start with Councilman Sarah.
Do we wanna get into the audit, the comments on the audit?
Do you want Ricky to come in?
Oh, he would know. Yeah.
Yeah.
what was the
Because we have
comments
to
on
sign
the
the
audit that you
affidavit that
were?
everybody
Yes,
reviewed the
then-
audit.
yeah, yeah, I read it twice, and I'm not sure I still understand it.
You mean these comments here?
Yeah.
Oh, well, these
We've
seem
never
like-
had
these seem-
comments before, ever.
Really?
Years
10
ago.
years, I don't think I've ever seen a comment on it.
Oh, I was expecting these comments.
You should.
Usually you get comments that you don't like, like, hey, you should.
Well,
be doing
there's,
something
these are
else.
comments kind of,
I'm not sure whether it's saying we didn't follow the proper procedure for purchasing based on the statute. the way it's written, Ricky can clarify in a second. Did I have anything else? I did not have anything else, Mr. Mayor.
Let's go to Councilwoman Kaplan.
You even know where we're sitting. I'm good. I have some.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's a little.
I'm
creepy.
trying to remember where you guys sat.
That's true.
Dave's
I think I did all right.
Dave's in your office with his feet up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Ricky. Yes. Audit statements. Comments at the back.
Yes.
The one on purchasing, is it something we need to be aware of? I'm obviously aware of. Did we do something?
It's boilerplate.
No. Is it? No, he kind of is specific.
Yeah, well, he's just telling you that's what the minutes and bids, just making it, let you know what was in there.
You looked at the minutes to make sure.
Which page are you talking about?
57.
That's in there every year.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't remember seeing it. Okay. Same with the other one, collection of delinquent debt. I'm done, Mayor.
Yeah, I thought this was all boilerplate stuff.
Yeah, I also
remember
did.
seeing those.
Yeah, I think I've.
No, it's always there.
Okay.
It was a
Yeah.
good audit, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's one comment recommendation, which was, at the time that we, sold notes, we didn't anticipate that we were gonna sell a note for the, golf utility. And the golf utility acts as an enterprise fund, you have to do, interest accrual. And we didn't, provide for that in the budget, so we had to charge the budget. Technically, it says it's an over expenditure. It's raised in this year's budget.
How much?
40 some odd thousand, I believe it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That was. Yeah. No, I thought this was pretty.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Pretty vanilla.
It's all good.
Yeah, pretty vanilla.
All good.
Okay.
You're good?
All right.
See you in the next.
See you in a little bit.
That was easy.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have no questions for anybody in this room.
Deputy Mayor Fisher.
Yes, Mayor. I just want to let everybody know, and I'll state this down in the public meeting, but hot off the press, we have Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett coming back for the second annual Punt, Pass, and Pickett event, and it's going to be on the 29th, Sunday, at 9 a.m.
Oh, that's good.
I'll give it, yes, everything. You have no idea how much wrangling we had to do, by the way.
Because a weekday, it's hard to get kids out of camps.
Are you going to restate this in the public?
I am going to restate all this in the public meeting, but it was very exciting news. We had to do a lot of work, and I'll thank everybody publicly. And that's all I got for you, Mayor, but I did want to say that it's going to be a nice event. And what I wanted to bring up was maybe, as a council, I don't know how much Kenny wants and doesn't want, but you don't win a Super Bowl every day. We should do something for him. So maybe more than a proclamation, but I don't think, he's shy at times about what these things are. So we have to come up with something that fits in with the theme.
At that day?
At that day. So let's put our minds together and
Be
think
like a
about
game of flag football or something?
Oh,
Or
let's
us
do
and-
that. Us and
Yes.
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Well, a bunch of the Eagles.
Jim.
Well,
Jim.
a bunch of the Eagles against like us guys.
Yeah,
or
so
something.
we'll work on that. Jeff's already got great ideas on this, so we'll figure it out.
The
I know that's the problem.
The
right?
winner can get the Napolitani trophy.
June 29th.
Yes. All right, so that was good news. Mayor's Wellness Committee, working hard for you, Mayor, and that was a good one. That's all I got.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councilman Weinstein.
So I'm going to talk about a couple of things. One is I'm going to talk about our Economic Development Committee and how that's now on our website. And we have our first thing that we're going to be doing on June 5th, so I'll talk about that. I think I sent all you guys the flyer on that, and that goes live tomorrow, so on our website. So we're going to be talking about that. I have a bunch of environmental things here. We have 21 entries for that contest we did for the kids to do for recycling. So we have 21 entries, and by next meeting, we're going to have a winner. So we're looking at all those videos. The survey is out that the town put out, and we have now so far 100 people have responded to the survey. And
How
we're
many are they expecting? Yeah.
I think we're expecting somewhere around 250.
Okay.
So we're going to socialize a little bit more. We also signed on the consultant who's starting to work with us for our plan by the end of the year. The way that works, just as an FYI, is the consultant starts doing the work. When all that work gets done, then we get reimbursed by the grant to pay for his time. And the Shade Tree Commission, we gave away about 200 trees to individuals, 275 to the schools and students. And then, do you remember the kids who presented to us that day? Well, they won the Albert M. Greenfield Foundation contest. They came in second place in that contest.
great.
So.
We should also.
So that's all. I'm going to talk about this when I'm
Yeah.
down there and give it a little bit more time. But those are some of the highlights. Any questions for me? No? Cool.
That's it. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Get her into the next meeting.
John, anything? Did you have any questions for me on all that?
No, I have no questions.
Okay.
Got a report, John?
I do not have a report.
Okay.
Do you want to take a break and we'll call you back when we go downstairs?
Yes, that works.
Okay, we'll call you back in a little bit.
Thank you.
Bye.
All set?
Yep. Take
Good
it.
evening. I just want to remind everybody that all regular Township Council meetings will be audio and videotaped. They'll be shown on the Township of Ocean's Community Cable Channel, Channel 22 on Verizon Fios, and Channel 77 on Cablevision. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Napolitani,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Fisher,
Here.
Council Members Zachera,
Here.
Kaplan,
Here.
Weinstein.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Fisher will lead us in a pledge of allegiance, and please remain standing as we say a silent prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press and the Coaster, posted in Town Hall and filed in the office of the municipal clerk on January 3rd, 2025. There are two emergency exits to the wall on the right that will take you to the front of the building and another on the left that will take you to the rear parking lot. Please make sure all your cell phones are turned off, and if you need to make a call, kindly step outside of the meeting room. Before we start our ceremony, I'd like to go down the line and start off with council comments. Not sure where Fisher's sitting, but he's usually at the end. So Deputy Mayor Fisher, I'll start off with you.
Well, actually, I'm sitting in your seat tonight, John.
Enjoy it.
All right. Quick council comments. I just hot off the press. The Mayor's Wellness Council is proud to bring you Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett is coming back into town on Sunday, June 29th for the Kenny Pickett Punt, Pass, and Pickett event. It was tough to get him in here, but we've secured him. I have a big thank you to former council member Kelly Terry, Mike Patrico for making this event happen. I also want to thank head varsity coach Chad King for volunteering his time. It's not easy to get a Super Bowl champion back into town, but he did agree, and it's a good event for the children. It's going to be on the website real soon. It's going to sell out quickly, so put the word out. I also want to thank Ocean's very own Chelsea Maddie, Ocean Township High School Junior, for putting on the second annual Parks 5K. All her proceeds will be donated back to the parks. There was over 100 runners, and our very own council member, Jeff Weinstein, ran a blistering 26-minute 5K. So the bar has been set. Anyone who wants to break that next year, you can go after council member Weinstein. That's all I've got, John.
I heard he beat Councilman Sarah's time there.
We
Is that
just
correct?
checked, just for the record, Mr. Mayor, we checked the records, and that is not the case. Just for the record. He was excited, but...
Let me go down
Rob
the
used the bicycle.
end. I believe we have. Let's go, Councilwoman Kaplan.
Okay, so two things. First of all, I just want to thank everybody, especially our police force, for an amazing Israeli flag raising last week. The police did an incredible job of keeping everybody there safe and secure. So thank you, since you're all here. And I also want to mention that we have a busy June. June 22nd is going to be our bike safety event in Joe Palaya Park. There's going to be 4 sessions, 15 people each. So please, I encourage everybody to sign up. It's especially, important in this busy summer season that we're getting into. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Weinstein.
Thanks, Mayor. So I have a couple of things. One is, so we started an economic development committee for the town. I am the chairman, and my fellow councilman Rob is the vice chairman. And on June 5th, we are going to be having our first event. It's going to be a workshop for small businesses. Monmouth University, Brookdale Community College, and New Jersey Economic Development Authority are going to be presenting what's available to small businesses in the town to help them grow. So looking forward to that. On the environmental side, the Environmental Commission ran its contest for a public service announcement on how to recycle. We had 21 entries from the different schools in our town, in the neighborhood. So we're going to be awarding a winner on that on June 5th. We did a survey that's out on the website. So if you haven't finished the survey to add trees and canopy to our town, please take that. We so far have over 100 people who have done the survey, so we're looking to get that up to about 300. On the Shade Tree Commission, we had 14 volunteers that handed out 200 or so trees the other day, and we had 275 trees given to grade schools throughout the town to plant more trees. And then the other, last month, we actually had a nice presentation by some Ocean Township Intermediate School kids who were talking to us about the importance of tree canopy and trees, and they actually entered the Albert M. Greenfield Foundation contest, which is a very competitive contest held, and they came in second place. So just great stuff all around. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. And Councilman Sarah.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Holy cow,
Hold the applause.
Really? So we're going to start off with a ceremony, and I just want to make a couple of comments before Deputy Mayor Fisher comes down and administers the oath. We have 2 captains that are retiring, Captain Pat Martin and Captain Greg Skank. I know these guys personally. They've done an outstanding job for the Ocean Township Police Department, and I really extend my heartfelt thanks to the years of service that you provided to this community. We are going to be swearing in Captain now Todd Gregory, who I've known my entire life, Captain Mark Delton, Lieutenant Mike Melody, Patrolman Troy Arantino, and Patrolman Joshua Hernandez Franco. I also want to say this, and I obviously can't see the crowd out there, but I'm sure it's a sea of blue. I want to just tell you, men and women that are out there this evening, under the leadership of Mike Sorrentino, I had an incident that I needed to have taken care of with the police department last week, and I cannot thank your team enough. You men and women that are out there are truly the best police department we could ever have, and I truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank this team for everything that you do day in and day out for this municipality. Thank you, and I think everybody should give them a round of applause because they are the true heroes here. So, of course, I do extend my apologies for not being there personally, but I do have a family emergency I'm attending to currently, but I know tonight is very important, not only for the swearing-ins, but also for the budget. So, without further ado, if the council can step down off the dais, and Deputy Mayor Fisher will administer the oaths to the police officers.
So I'd like to call up Chief Sorrentino to come up and say a few words about all the officers that are going to get sworn in tonight.
Thank you. I would first like to thank Mayor, Council, Township Manager for all the support you give to the police department. We provide the best possible service to the township and our community. I'd like to welcome family, friends, colleagues, and residents. I would like to begin by calling up 2 recent retirees, Captain Greg Skank and Patrick Martin. Please come on up. We have some proclamations for you. You are clearly retired based on your retirement. These two men have dedicated more than half of their life to this department, the township, and its residents. They rose through the ranks and have held captain positions for the last few years, have been part of the senior command staff. Their loyalty and dedication has gone unmatched. I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. When they say surround yourself with good people, these two are the best of the best. So thank you for your years of service. Congratulations on your retirement, and I wish you the best of luck.
And one for you. Yeah, well, take a picture. You guys need to get in the middle.
No, right. Sorry, I should say
I'm sorry.
That came out wrong. I apologize.
All right. Congratulations, guys. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to roll right into this set of swearings in because for efficiency, I see the crowd is anxiously awaiting. Our two new captains, Todd Gregory and Mark Delton, they've been part of the senior command staff for years. Todd has been here 27 years, Mark over 20. They've both held unique positions still currently with the county. Todd is the commander of the Serious Collision Response Team, investigating all serious and fatal accidents with the county. And Mark is currently the MOSERT commander, which is the county SWAT team. So these two men have exemplified their leadership. Come on up and we will swear you in with your families. Congratulations.
Want to bring your families up? I got some Bibles here. All right. I'll go over here and you guys can face the crowd. All right, everybody ready? All right, raise your right hand. I state your name. Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. I do further solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, justly perform all of the duties of captain, a position of captain for the Township of Ocean Police Department according to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations. Awesome. Congratulations. You guys want to take a quick picture? Congratulations. Want to jump in?
Do family first.
Yeah, do the family first and we'll jump in.
Oh, we're getting out.
All right. It's like a wedding. You guys want to get in? We'll do one with the council.
I'll come on. Do one.
All right. Congratulations again. Good work.
All right, next is Lieutenant Michael Melody. If you want to come up. Michael's an 18-year veteran of the police department, spent many years in our detective bureau, came out several years ago to the patrol division as a sergeant, recently promoted to lieutenant. He will assume command of the patrol squads with administrative duties to consist of scheduling and training. Here to swear him in tonight is his brother, Municipal Court Judge, Honorable Eugene Melody. Come on up. Oh yeah, of course she's official.
Oh, rope and everything. It's a big day. It's a big day. It's a big day. It's a big day. Might need some good stuff.
That's good stuff here.
Big day.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, this is it. Oh. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah. Yes, no problem. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. Thank you very much.
I, Michael Melody,
I, Michael Melody,
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
that I will bear full faith and allegiance to same
I will bear faith and allegiance to the same
and the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all of the duties of the position of lieutenant
perform all of the duties of position of lieutenant
for the Township of Ocean Police Department
for the Township of Ocean Police Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I love you, bro.
Love you. Take a couple pictures. Parents, you want to come up and take a shot? Come on, a little family picture here. Let's go.
If you want me to take the picture, I'll take it.
No, with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We only have the hall till later.
I think we have somebody more
That
official.
wasn't
We're getting
official.
official.
He wants to get at it. That's official.
I'll just take one with council real quick.
Yeah, there you go. No, come on. It's official. Where you going?
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We're almost done, I promise. We saved the best for last. It's always exciting to bring in new members to the department. These two young men have worked as Class 2 officers with us for several years. They've proven to be loyal, hardworking, dedicated, valuable members of the department. Officers Troy Arantino and Josue Hernandez. Please come up with your families.
Welcome aboard officially. So, I'm going to give you this. So you can hold on. I'm going to help you a little bit. Here's the Bible. And somebody from your family can hold that. And somebody from your family can hold that. Okay. Okay. All right. Everybody ready? Raise your right hand. I state your name. Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. I do further solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all of the duties of the position of patrolman for the Township of Ocean Police Department according to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations. 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 Yes, congratulations to all of you. Yeah, take some pics. Just one quick one with the council and we'll let you guys go. Oh, sorry. Want to get it, Abby? Nope. Okay, all right. Come on.
Any more, Chief?
We're done for tonight, yes. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to the members, outside agencies that showed up to support the members. Like I said, it is a wall of blue. Thank you to former retired members and all the ones that are here tonight. And thank you all for coming.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
So we're going to take a little bit of a pause right now. If you guys want to take some pictures, come on up, take some pictures, and then we're going to resume the council business in about 15 minutes? Okay. 5 minutes. All right.
I am here.
All right, we're going to get started on the township's business, okay? I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Napolitani.
Good evening. I'd like to have item B1 to authorize the 2025 municipal budget to be read by title. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Napolitani?
Yes. I'd like to call Ricky Gartz, our CFO, up to do a short presentation on the budget. Before Ricky does that, I want to thank you, Ricky, for the hard work you put in on this budget. I know it's never easy. This is one of the hardest things that we do in the municipality, to try to keep it lean and mean. So, Ricky, I'm going to turn it over to you to give the short presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mike, hold on.
Oh, the mic, I'm sorry.
Tommy wants to hear you.
Don't push make sure the wrong button stays on.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. Tonight, we've been approved by the state of New Jersey to adopt our 2025 budget, which was introduced on April 10th. A few of the highlights that are in this budget. We started off the year knowing that we were going to have a tough time. We were going to lose approximately $1.2 million in revenues from 2024 that we had to come up with somehow. They consisted of our federal ARPA funds of $860,000, and we lost $263,000 in state aid. A couple of new revenues that we have in the budget this year are hotel fees. The hotel has started to generate revenue for us, so that's a new revenue item for us, as well as we have reserved for payment of notes that we're collecting on our sidewalk programs to pay down our debt on that as well. Total budget's going up approximately $1.9 million, and the average homeowner's increase is about $144, which is $12 per month. Salaries is going up $1.1 million, which is basically contractual. We settled the union agreements in 2024. 2025, this was anticipated that we would have this increase as well. The insurances are just through the roof. Liability, workers' comp, and health insurance is going up $400,000. And the pension bill has gone up $200,000. Overall, with the loss of revenues that we anticipated coming in, and with the appropriations and the increases of $1.9 million, I would say that the budget is as lean as we can make it to provide the residents of Ocean Township the services they've come used to, and for everybody to be able to say that they are happy to live in this town. So it's open up to the public now.
John? What, John? John?
Yes.
Want to open the meeting, the public hearing?
Rick, you done?
I am.
Rick, you done?
Yes.
Do I have can someone please open public discussion on the adoption of the 2025 municipal budget?
I'll move to open public discussion on the 2025 municipal budget.
I'll second.
Second?
I'll second.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Naplatani?
Yes. Anyone wishing to be heard on the 2025 municipal budget, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
John, we have somebody coming up. It doesn't sound like it.
Is it
Hit the button.
Hello. Okay. I saw the budget online in the agenda, but I'm wondering if there was a user-friendly version that is online on the website, and where can I find that? So I have a couple of questions. So I'll just enumerate them, and then you guys can answer however you want. So is there a user-friendly online version? What is the percentage of increase of the total budget number over last year? Like, is it a 2% increase? I know you just said 1.9 million going up, but I'm speaking percentages. There seems to have been a lot of legal fees this year, so I'm wondering what the increase in legal fees are in this budget. And I think that's it for right now. Oh, I'm sorry. And what are the marijuana, the taxes on the marijuana businesses? What do they have any, if any, implications in this coming budget? Thanks.
First off, there is a user-friendly budget online. It's on where the regular budget is. Secondly, if you look at the legal line, it actually is dropping $20,000, so I'm not quite sure what you're referring to on the increase in legal. It is actually dropping $20,000. No, there's a decrease. Correct. Help me out with the other questions.
What's the percentage that's budgeted over last year?
It's roughly 4.5%. And there was a fourth question.
Marijuana.
There is no revenue anticipated in this budget for marijuana, cannabis.
And why? Are we bringing in marijuana revenue yet?
I can't anticipate a revenue until I know what's being brought in, so that'll be part of next year's budget once we see how the revenue is flowing.
So none of the marijuana businesses have opened at this point. So can't get any revenue until they open.
I think today we got an email that one of them may be open.
Anybody else? Last chance.
Seeing here none, do I have a motion to close public discussion on the 2025 municipal budget?
I'll move to close public discussion on the 2025 municipal budget.
Second,
Second?
roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Napolitani?
Yes. Action on the adoption of the 2025 municipal budget.
Move to approve the 2025 municipal budget.
Second?
Roll
Achara?
call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Napolitani?
Yes. The 2025 municipal budget passes. Thank you very much, Ricky, again, for your fantastic work on the budget this year.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you, Ricky.
And since Fisher's in my seat, I'm turning the meeting over to him. Let him do some work. You guys have a great night. Thank you again for everybody that attended and working on this budget. Have a great night.
Okay. Okay, all matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the Township Council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired on any item, that item will be considered separately. The purpose of this public portion is solely to ask questions to understand resolutions that appear on this agenda and is not an occasion for the public hearing on an ordinance. All questions not related to an item on this agenda should be asked during the public comments portion at the conclusion of this meeting. Okay. Any questions? Any
Any questions on the
yeah, any questions on the
resolution?
resolutions? Come on up, state your name, address, and unfortunately our microphone is right over here.
No, it's up here.
No, it's right here.
Wait. And it's on green.
I forgot to put my address, Alex Hayes, Oakhurst. Actually, not address because I don't legally have to give you that. So my question is on resolution number 7. We're on resolutions, you said, right? Are all? Well, I'm sorry. Is the mayor voting tonight? He's done now. Okay. So are all 4 of you authorized or allowed to vote on number 7?
I'm not.
So you'll be recusing?
Yep.
Okay. I think that's all I had. Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else from the public? Okay, seeing here none. What's that? Oh, motion to accept the resolutions?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Second?
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Everything except resolution 7. I have to recuse myself.
Weinstein?
Yes.
And, oh, he's not here. Never mind.
Okay, individual action. Vouchers for $13,234,615.17. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes?
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance is up for adoption. Ordinance number 2504. An ordinance amending ordinance number 2338 entitled An Ordinance Fixing Salaries and Compensation of Certain Offices, Positions, and Employees in the Township of Ocean. Open it up to public comment.
Actually, we need a.
Oh, I need a motion?
Yes.
I'll move to open the public hearing on ordinance 2504.
Second.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Anybody wishing to come up and discuss ordinance 2504? Seeing or hearing none? Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 2504.
Second?
Second.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Action on ordinance 2504?
I'd like to close the.
Did that.
Move to adopt.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd like to move to adopt ordinance 2504 and publish according to law.
Second?
Second.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
All right, so moved. Ordinance 2505, an ordinance amending and supplementing the ordinance number 2343 entitled an ordinance amending the revised general ordinances of the Township of Ocean, 1965, relating to personnel policies, practices, and procedures. I'd like to get a motion to open the public hearing on that.
I'll move to open the public hearing on ordinance 2505.
Second?
Second.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Anyone from the public wishing to be heard on ordinance 2505? Seeing or hearing none, can I get a motion to close?
I move to close the public hearing on ordinance 2505.
Second?
Second.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Action on ordinance 2505?
I move to adopt ordinance number 2505 and publish according to law.
Second?
Second.
So, go ahead, go ahead.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
All right, ordinance so moved. Ordinance 2506, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 2 of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Ocean, 1965, entitled Administration, Section 2-5:7, Department of Public Works, and Section 2-5:9, Department of Human Services. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing on that?
I move to open the public hearing on ordinance 2506.
Second?
Second.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Anybody from the public wishing to be heard on ordinance 2506? Seeing or hearing none, can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
I move to close the public hearing on ordinance 2506.
Second?
Second.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
It's action on ordinance 2506.
I move to adopt ordinance number 2506 and publish according to law.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
All right, so moved. All right, up for introduction tonight, ordinance 2507, an ordinance providing for the vacation of a portion of the right-of-way known as Van Note Parkway. And that will have its public hearing on
June 12th.
June 12th. And can I get someone to introduce that ordinance?
I'd like to-
2507?
I'd like to introduce ordinance 2507.
Second?
Second.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Okay.
We have one more.
One more. Ordinance 2508, an ordinance amending Chapter 12 of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Ocean, 1965, entitled Traffic, Section 12-2:2, parking prohibited at all times on certain streets. Can I get someone to introduce ordinance 2508?
I'll introduce ordinance 2508.
Second?
Second.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Kaplan?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
And that will have its public hearing on June 12th. That it?
That's it.
Okay.
Open it up for public.
All right. Anybody from the public wishing to come up to speak on anything germane to Ocean Township? Now is your time.
Can I speak first, Mr. Deputy Mayor?
Oh, absolutely.
We didn't do the proclamation for Arbor Day.
Oh, my goodness. Sorry. We have a proclamation for Arbor Day.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome.
That's wonderful. All right. So the township would like to recognize Arbor Day. And it was April 25th. We're a little late to the party, but nonetheless, we do care deeply about our trees and all that sort of thing. So on behalf of the township, we would like to bring this proclamation to the public. And that's it.
Thank you, Rob.
Okay,
Welcome.
thanks, Rob. Otherwise, we would have forgot the trees.
Thank you to Figlia. He texted me.
All right. Moving on to the public portion. Now's your time. State your name and address for the public, or for the record.
Alex Hayes Oakhurst. I think I have like 7 questions here. I'll try to do them in order. I'm wondering if the town attorney could provide me with the policy number, or I guess ordinance or resolution or rule, whatever we call it in town, that allows for town council members to vote virtually. So I'm wondering if you could provide that for me. Second one, we live in a town of 30,000 people, 27,000, and I'm the only one asking questions about a $50 million budget or whatever it is. I think that's pretty sad that we aren't more engaged. I don't think this council engaged the public, as you are, I believe, statutorily mandated to engage the stakeholders before you talk about the budget. So that's more of a comment. That's not really a question. I do wish that you had sent out robocalls or some more information to the public. If it weren't for Mr. Achera posting about this meeting and about what's generally on meetings, hundreds of people might not, maybe even thousands. I don't know how big your posts go, but at least somebody posts. There needs to be more information on the town website. Those were for one comment, one question. On page 75, I apologize, I don't know what resolution it was, but it might have been a cut and paste. And there was mentioning of the Township of Brick, not Ocean, so that might need to be fixed. Again, that's another question, not a question, I mean.
Thank you.
Yep. Golf maintenance. Are we, in the bills, we paid $30,000 for 2 months? So are we really paying $30,000 to maintain our golf course every month? That seems high. And we are paying $5,000 a month for the SPCA. So I'm just wondering what that entails. Like, how many dog pickups? Do they just wander around the town? Does it include 14 calls? And then if it's past 14 calls, we get charged? I don't know. I see $3,400 in litigation about affordable housing from the Clark Catton Hintz law firm. There are many Jersey Shore towns that are suing the state for the affordable housing mandates. So I'm wondering if that is something that this town council is entering into, or if you can give a little bit more insight on what that quote unquote affordable housing litigation is about. Almost done. Okay, and then newsletter I have here. Who writes the town newsletter that went out to residents? I think it's quarterly. It was atrociously grammarly. There were spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes. Some parts of it was embarrassing to read, that it comes from elected officials and the town council. So I think we should have a better grammar police looking at our publications that go out. Not to mention the fact that it wasn't in any language besides English. Okay, thanks.
Go right ahead.
The first one was to me. The attendance at meetings is not governed by a town rule or law. It's governed by the state law. It's called the Open Public Meetings Act. And the rule is that a council member can attend, and especially in the instance of an emergency, if they cannot be personally at the meeting, as long as the council member or mayor here can hear the proceedings that are going on, and as long as the members of the public can hear the mayor's participation in it. So I know for the first minute or so we didn't have the microphone on him, but after that I think it was pretty clear that who he was and what he was saying and what he voted for. So it is allowed under state law.
Participation and voting.
That is correct. Yes. Correct.
The other one was a statutory obligation for us to share the budget.
What was the statutory obligation to share? Oh, yes. There are strict laws on the legal obligation of the township to provide notice to the public, which includes publishing in the paper. I think it's also on the website.
And it was on
Those.
Yeah. It was in my office too. On the
Oh,
counter.
I'm sorry, and at the counter at the clerk's office. I can tell you that has been done. So the
I'm sorry, that's considered engaging stakeholders?
No. You asked what the legal requirements were. My understanding was what the legal requirements are. So the legal requirements for publication and notice to the public have been met for passage of the budget.
That wasn't what I asked. That wasn't a question. That was more of a stating. There is no public engagement.
Oh, okay.
But not that I want to get into a debate, but I am curious. So you use the term statutory obligation. Is there a other than publicizing it?
No, it's state law, statutory law, and it's very clear on what any municipality in the state of New Jersey has to do in order to have their budget publicized, made known to the public, made available to the public for their review, and then voted on. And that's what I just reported. The publication is not required for engaged stakeholders. I'm not sure what that means. It talks about notification to the public at large. And while I'm at, I'll take one other question. And Dave Brown is really the proper person to answer this one because I'm not familiar with it. But the Clark Caton firm is the Township's Affordable Housing Council. They handle all affordable housing matters. I don't know what the specific bill you referenced was for. Dave reviews those bills, but we can get that answer for you by the next meeting.
I want to just expand on the affordable housing thing. So Ocean Township has been super proactive with this. So at this time, we are not engaging in any lawsuits with any other townships. We actually got ahead of the curve, and we have settled our obligation for, I believe, the 4th round. So Township's on the hook for about 160 units right now, which is, believe it or not, an incredible situation because if you look in the paper, you'll see Colts Neck. Some of these towns are on the hook for Homedale, 700 units. Rumsden's on the hook for a bunch of units. So Ocean Township was, we spent the money on the front end, but I believe, through this process, we've really done as good a job as we can. The town got a designation of being essentially built out, which is good in a sense because there's not land all over this township that can be, taken over. There's no farmland. It's not like Colts Neck, Marlboro, Manalapan, where they have tons and tons of land. But the township is very much on this, and this law firm that we have used in the past has done quite a good job for us. As far as the newsletter, I guess we'll have to just have another set of eyes to take a look at that. But, I appreciate your comment. Was there any other questions?
30,000 on the golf.
That I don't know.
So I think that's a better question for Dave Brown. I do know that the golf course, for the first time ever, has actually shown a profit versus a loss. I will speak generally that golf courses are extremely expensive to maintain. It is just the nature of the game. It's the nature of maintaining a beautiful golf course. But as of last year, they did not lose money. So it is a profitable venture for the township, and it is well used. I mean, it's not something that, it's fairly packed. And I have to give the guys credit who, the people who work there do a credit. They've done a nice job with the golf course.
Can I just add one comment? Keep in mind that that's a separate utility, so it's a separate utility. So that is not under our municipal budget per se. It's self-funding. All the costs are generated. All the revenue that is generated goes to pay the cost of the operation. No tax dollars are used for that.
So the $30,000 a month is somehow paid back by the revenue we bring in.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
If I may, the 5,000 on the SPCA, that's probably better answered by Dave. I can give you some of it, but probably wouldn't be enough, and may not be accurate.
Anyone else from the public wishing to be heard? Now's your time. Come on up. State your name and address for the record. Oh, and we have a microphone. Yep, please.
Is it green? No. Is it green light on?
Hello?
Yep.
Hello. Hi, Louis Gaudius, Oakhurst. So I'm here tonight to explain and introduce our new football league. We were granted field usage for the high school and for a practice field, and miraculously they changed their mind after we, put this out and been working, got a team together, coaches, and now they're saying we can't use the practice field on Whale Pond. So we're just here tonight to ask if any of you guys ever played football or like the sport or the kids of Ocean to play in their own town. We've done this before, and we've actually been like kicked out to Neptune. We're here tonight to ask if, we were hoping the mayor was going to be here. We wanted to ask if there was any way we can get a little bit of backup. We almost had the field. We were about that close, and out of nowhere they just changed their mind.
What was the reason?
What was the reason? It was 'cause the grass.
They're worried about messing the grass up.
What field?
Whale Pond North, it's gonna be the
So it's a soccer field.
soccer field with the park side.
The soccer field is on this side, and on the opposite side they have like a lacrosse slash. They use it for everything.
We live about a block away, so we know that that piece of land is not really used by sports teams. You get, stragglers or adults using it here and there, but for the most part, they use the big main soccer field. So Mike, the recreation director, told us that, after having some time to think about it, we didn't feel it was fit for a tackle team. We're going to be one team right now. It's, maybe 18 to 20 kids, a couple of coaches. It's no more than what soccer would do to that grass, and we would be willing to put seed down if we did, mess it up in any way, which I don't think tackle practice is going to, because it's drills. It's not like they're
just 11
playing the
they're
sport.
Small. They're not. We don't even have a big 13, 14-year-old team. They're just little guys. Like,
Right.
their cleats are plastic. The guys that are slide tackling on it at night that we see is like, that would mess it up like a lot more than with these children from Ocean. Like, these guys are from, like, I ask them, hey, where you guys from? Oh, we're from Neptune, oh, we're from Long Branch, oh, we're from here, oh, we're from there. These kids that are on our team, they're from Ocean, and a lot of them, their parents have small businesses in the town and stuff like that. Like, we just want a little bit of recognition. We just want to...
We're under Pop Warner. So we get that we have AYF in Ocean, and Ocean bleeds red and white, and we understand that completely. But you have your families, let's say, from Middlebrook, Twinbrook, Continental Gardens. Many of these low-income families can't afford to play under AYF, because by the time you're done with your fees and your work bonds and such, you're looking at almost $750, plus your cleats.
Per year.
Per season. Per player, per season.
Per player.
You do get some back if you return the equipment and you work the snack bar, which if you've ever had a player in football, you're not really going to work the snack bar unless
the snack bar, you're going to miss your kid play football.
Exactly.
So it doesn't even make sense what they're doing. So it's kind of like, we'll keep your money because you're not going to want to come and watch. So.
Right.
Well, being that the town manager's not here tonight, I think the best thing to do is, after the meeting, let me get your information. I'll get that information off to the township manager, and we'll get your response.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys coming
Thank
in.
you all for your time.
What's the name of the league?
It's Pop Warner. Oh, you get your flag.
What's your shirt say?
It says Ocean Township Dolphins.
That's what I was asking. Okay, Dolphins.
Township Dolphins, Pop Warner.
Can I just ask one question? Just out of
Sure.
curiosity? So why would it be cost any different for somebody to participate in your league? Because it's the same equipment, same.
We're only charging $175.
We charge a lot cheaper, and we let them keep the equipment. All this stuff here, I want to show you guys this.
Okay. But it's the same. Kids have the same equipment.
We
Right?
have a lot better equipment than Ocean Township. Like, my kids played in Ocean Township. When I used to take the helmet home, you remove the plastic little piece that saves their head, and it's all moldy. It's just like that stuff's been in that trailer for decades, and it's just like they remove the sticker on the back, put a new sticker on, here you go, move on. And you don't even keep that helmet. That helmet goes back to them, back to the trailer, back to the next kid next year. We learned how to get new equipment, very good equipment for their heads and stuff like that, because these are our kids, and they get to keep it too. So if they ever do leave and go to another league, they'll still have that safe helmet.
And this is no competition with AYF.
Yeah, at all.
This is like having a second pizza place. That's it. We're just bringing another option for families, because a lot of people might not even like AYF. AYF is a lot bigger than just Ocean Township AYF, and the chain up isn't so great at a Jersey Shore level, and that's basically, one of the reasons we opted to remove ourselves from AYF and start with Pop Warner. Pop Warner's been around
And
way
Pop
before
Warner used to be
AYF.
Ocean, it was here in Ocean before AYF, long. It generated a lot of great players from Ocean Township.
We have 6 boys.
6
All
boys.
of them. Our oldest son is our second oldest son is 16, and he's at the high school. He will be most likely the head quarterback, the starting quarterback for the high school. So,
Congrats.
we are.
Well, we seem to produce a lot of quarterbacks from Ocean Township, so that's good stuff. All right, so we'll get back to you.
One of the things I didn't get to say is,
Yep.
the reason we started it
Take the
again,
mic.
because you have
You can grab the microphone.
that are 11
Right.
years old.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab the mic, just because it'll be, this way people can hear you.
And also you have 4 quarterbacks. And also you have kids that are 11 years old, you have about 4 quarterbacks. Only one of them are going to get to play. And usually that one is the head coach's kid or a coach's kid. You know what I mean? So now you have 3 other kids that are sitting there that work very hard, to play these positions. And this is just another spot for them to say, you know what, I might be able to go over there. They only have 1 quarterback over there. Now, if he gets injured or if he can't come that week, maybe I could play, instead of being 5th string, there's a lot of kids that like to play positions that don't get to play as well. That's about
Appreciate it. Thank you. Just stick around after the meeting. I'm going to get your information real quick.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Last licks.
I was here last,
Just state your name and address, please, for the record.
Brian Mullins, 107 Bimble Boulevard. I'm here to talk about Bimble Boulevard. We had a nice, quiet summer because there was a speed bump placed in the eastern third of the road. It did a lot to slow down and deter cut-through traffic through the neighborhood. And then it was decided not to be replaced. 2 weeks after that was removed, because it was only supposed to be the summer anyway, a car heading east, speeding down the road in rainy conditions, wound up in my front lawn. Had my wife and I not gone out, her car would have been totaled. Had the little girl that rides her bike up and down the sidewalk not had been riding her bike, she might have been hit by the car. And I've been coming to the town council meetings. I'm my 3rd mayor, 3rd business administrator, I think 3rd chief of police. When I first came, the first chief of police just said, we don't like speed bumps. And it was under Mayor Larkin that they were supposed to do a study, and then they did it for the winter months, pulled them up because of a snowstorm, and then the chief said, we're not doing it again. Because they were supposed to run all seasons, so we got good information. Because my information is anecdotal. I've only lived on the street for 25 years, looking at the traffic from my house. I know the mayor said that the township is for the county making it a do not enter. And I just wonder, I just believe that to be kind of kicking the can down the road. Because every time I came over the 3 mayors and 3 business administrators, I met with them, they said, we'll do a study, we'll do a study, we'll do a study. And finally, when the Aldi was being opened and it was discussed that the county was going to be putting down a center turning lane down Asbury Avenue, right by Bimbler, and when it was discussed by the residents, the county engineers, I guess, were unaware that people head east on Asbury Avenue and make a left into Bimbler, and that would be, but people heading west on Asbury making a left into Aldi in contrast with one another. So they did a study, and they put all sorts of high-tech things up, and then from what I understand, and I'm quoting a township official that said the county engineers were blown away by the number of cars that travel down the road and the rate that they travel down the road. So the speed bump was put in, then it was taken out. And I know you're saying you're going to get the county to do it, but what is being done to get the county to do it? First, my understanding is that they don't want to do it. So that being said, if this is going to take 2 years, the speed and rate and volume of cars is only growing because GPSs send people down those roads. We're still stuck with the dilemma of the speed bump. Now, I'm only going with, the mayor's not here, so it's hearsay. It was in an article. He said that it's dangerous for the ambulances to be traveling over that speed bump. I spoke to a representative at P&L, emergency vehicles in Wall, they build them. They're made to go over them at high rates of speed. So it's a safety issue for the people in the ambulance maybe. Well, has anyone done a study to find out how many times a day, a week, or a month the ambulances go down Bimble Boulevard? And if they do go down 5 times a week, how many times are they traveling at a high rate of speed? Because normally when I see them going by, they're just cruising slow at the yellow lights. Has anyone thought to ask the neighbors that live on that street how many times they pull in and out of traffic that comes speeding down the road? So my point I'm getting to is he's placing the safety of the ambulance crew, which is important, and the patients in those ambulances that infrequently use the road, over the residents who use the road multiple times a day. I've been backing out of my driveway at 5 in the morning, look down east to Wickapecco, I see no car, and next thing I know there's a car passing me as I'm backing out. So this is a dangerous thing for the residents. This started because the GPSs send 18-wheelers down the street, and the electrical lines were ripped out 6 times in front of my house. So it's still a safety concern for the people in the community. And I don't agree with the mayor's decision or council's decision not to replace that temporary speed bump for the safety of a few over the safety of more. So I'd like to see something done for this summer, because I don't believe the county's going to do anything before the summer.
I'm going to have to interrupt you.
Okay.
Because you hit the 5-minute spot, so.
I can respond to this if you want. I can respond as best as I can to this.
I think we probably just want to tighten it up. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
So, I spoke with residents that live on Bimbler about, I want to say, maybe 5-6 months ago. And I also set up a meeting for the residents of Colonial Terrace with our engineer. They are looking to make the street one way. They are looking to get residents' input on what would be the best course of action to make sure that there is less traffic on Bimbler, that it's a safer street for all the kids that live on that block. And our engineer is on it. I can't speak to what exactly the status of the making the street one way is. I can't speak for the police who we defer to when it comes to whether it's safe or not safe to have a speed bump on that block. But I can put you in touch on behalf of the council with the engineer who will, to Greg Blash. When? In the last 6 months?
Yes.
What was his answer?
The county didn't want to do anything about it.
No, so that's not what's happening, where they are looking to make the street one way. It is our decision, not the county's decision, to make the street one way.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's what I was, and this is nothing, I was told many different things. At one time I was told Bimbler was a county road, and that was by 2 different township officials, which was lies.
Okay, I mean, we appreciate you coming and raising the issue. It's not a small one, and it's one that needs to be addressed. If you want to give us your contact information, we'll have the engineer reach out to you. I don't necessarily know if the speed bump is the answer. I suspect it is not, because we do defer to the police when it comes to what's safe.
Well, I can tell you, again, anecdotally, that it was far easier to get out of my driveway and get into my driveway.
You talking to the microphone, please?
Okay, well, we can also put you in touch with the police who can do who can speak to it. We are not the body that's equipped to speak to whether the speed bump is the right move or not.
Well, again, I guess what I'm saying is I don't buy a lot of what they're selling, because I was also, the 18-wheelers that come down the road are overweight for the road. There's a weight sign on the road. They're not supposed to be coming down the road. And I was told by the traffic officer years ago, oh, if they're doing local deliveries, they're allowed to come down the road. No, they're not.
Okay.
The conduit underground doesn't know that it's overweight, but it's allowed to come by because it's a local delivery. It's overweight. So a lot of people just say things.
Okay,
without
but we have
doing
to
their
start
homework.
somewhere.
Right.
So,
I got you.
So give me your contact information.
Okay.
I'll connect you with the engineer, and we'll see whether he can shed some more light on it that we necessarily can't.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Seeing here in.
Thank
Yep.
you, Brian.
All right. Get a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
All right.
So I'll talk to you about this thing we're doing.